Hey everybody, it's Taki117 here, back with Taki's Space Program. Last episode, I flubbed up in my satellite orbit, and I said I would fix it. Well, I didn't, sort of. It turns out I was actually missing a part, and I decided to go ahead and repurpose that as my Telstar satellite. So, it's still up there, and I still completed the contract, just not the one I intended. However, we are currently sitting on the pad with a very historic rocket. This is the Vostok 6 rocket, which was historically known as the one that put the first female in space, Valentina Tereshkova. Pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. So, we are going to go ahead and launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry for all of those of you with with eardrums. Good lord, that was loud. Did not realize it was going to be that loud. But anyway, here we are. We currently have Marta. I can't see the name very well down there. But she is our stand-in for Valentina, since our Valentina got exploded when we put our space station up several episodes ago now. We're rolling and pitching. And then I think I'm just going to let this one fly itself, basically. As you can see, there are a lot of engines on this thing. Most of them are Werner engines, but something else about this spacecraft that's new and exciting is I actually have fuel lines running from these outside boosters to the center stack. So as you can see, my center stack isn't using any fuel. It's all being pulled from these outer tanks. It's also reflected in my delta V here. You can actually see my vacuum delta V remaining constant for my second stage, or in this case my sixth stage. Alright, so far so good. Probably stand to pitch down a little bit more, just to kind of a couple of degrees should do it. Help our ascent along. Those particular ones explode just because of, again, how they're designed. But they peel off and they flip back around and form, you know, what's known as the Korolev cross. And it's just a matter of design. There's nothing special to it. It's like they don't intend for that to happen. It just kind of does. It's kind of cool to look at. If you ever get the chance to see an actual Soyuz launch, you'll see the same thing. The Vostok and the Soyuz launch vehicles are virtually identical. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but they're pretty close. Alright, let's orbit prograde. Now, I'm not going to burn this booster until empty. I might. I ran a simulation with the third FLT 800 fuel tank here, and I still had plenty of Delta V left over. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. Or rather, actually it looks like I might have plenty of Delta V left over. I'm going to take this up to 100 kilometers. And then we're going to circularize our orbit. Look at that beautiful plume there. 798, 99, and there we go, 100 kilometers. Now we're going to hold on to this, because that's mass. Mass means inertia, and inertia means I can maintain course without having to use up any of my fuel. So I'm just going to hold on to that until I get out of the atmosphere. There we go, we're out of the atmosphere. We're going to reveal the Vostok vehicle. And this is actually a pretty close representation. Good lord, that is loud. Yeah, it's actually a fairly close representation of the actual Vostok vehicle. Of course, it doesn't have all of the extra doodads and doohickeys and whatnot. Antennas, but it's pretty close. Oop, that's not the one I wanted. I want the maneuver planner so that I can circularize at apoapsis. Let's see, where is, here we go. I'm not sure what that waiting to reach orbit is, or why it's not counting down. We are going to execute that node. There we go. Execute. And hope our batteries last. That's something I didn't plan on. I was sitting on the pad as long as I did. I actually drained all of my battery power. I'm not sure. Okay. There's 200 units there. Beautiful plume. Absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, this stage is more than enough to get me back as well. As you can see, I have about 400 meters a second left in my maneuver and 800 meters left in the tank. But that's not what the original Vostok did. What it did was it used this one to boost itself into orbit, and then there is another engine here. Let's see. I hope that's 17 minutes and not 17 hours, because I don't know if I have 17 hours of anything. A little bit of burn off. There we go. Oh. Oh dear, that is 17 hours. Alright, well, there goes that. And there we go, we have the Vostok spacecraft. So this is going to get real interesting real quick. Let's see if I can shut down. I don't actually need these antennas on at all. That should save me some electric charge. I'm also going to keep my SAS off. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer all of my electric charge into the capsule. So we're just going to float here for 17 hours. My orbital period is 32 minutes. Oh boy. Well, This is going to get interesting. Simply because I don't know if I have enough food and water to last that long. Or oxygen, for that matter. Well, looks like food and oxygen are the ones I gotta worry about. I certainly don't have enough electric charge. So this is gonna be one heck of a race. All of my communication satellites and whatnot. There we go. Focus on Earth here. I do not have enough electric charge. I need either more batteries, or what's more than likely going to happen, I'm just going to slap a PB nuke on there and call it a day. Yes, I'm using way too much electric charge. Crap. Okay. Well, that could have gone better. Let's go ahead and point retrograde. Currently nighttime. I can't see anything. Ooh, there we go. Battery is almost empty. Oh noes. So she'll get to see one more sunrise before we decide to come home. So now that we're retrograde, we are going to fire this tiny little engine here. Oops, if I can activate it. There we go. 5, 4. Alright. So we may not have enough to complete our mission, but we at least have enough to get back home. Alright, so here we go. Set it for 1/3 atmosphere. Turn that off. Jettison our service module. And hope for the best as we come barreling through the atmosphere. So, learn something. I definitely need more batteries for a 17-hour flight or some form of power generation. I'm probably going to opt for the power generation. I mean, putting a couple of RTGs on there isn't that big a deal. We are falling, which is good. And we are staying relatively prograde, which is also good. So I will have to go into the vehicle assembly building and actually see how much food and oxygen I have to see if I can complete that 17-hour orbit. It looks like she stayed up there for about an hour and a half, so she completed 3 orbits. But without a way to generate power, there's no way that she could survive, you know, any more than that. She probably could have done it if I, you know, had fully charged everything before launch, but that's doubtful. I'm going to go ahead and activate my parachute, so if anything goes wrong, that will hopefully at least still deploy. And we are coming down at 4 times time warp, so The key to a successful re-entry is not going too fast. You go too fast, you're going to burn up, and you're just going to have a bad day. Alright, so we are at 30 kilometers. Our batteries are dying. Things are exploding back there. Probably the service module. Actually, it might be down there, maybe? Alright, we're at 15 kilometers. I think we're good as far as... No, we're still using up oxygen. Eventually we'll get to a point where we can basically just open the window. Drag is starting to take over. There we go. See, now we've opened the window, or in this case probably extended the pulling us that way. So the scrubber was what was using all of my electric charge. And it is still counting this as orbiting. So. There we go. Now, for the actual Vostok missions, at least for Yuri Gagarin's flight, and I'm not sure about subsequent flights, but I'm fairly certain for all of them, the pilot would actually bail out of the capsule and be recovered separately. This was done primarily in the interest of safety, mostly because, a person wearing a parachute is much more likely to survive than a person in a capsule with a parachute. So there's that. So we're just going to go ahead and cover that. Do a little bit of tweaking and get right back to it. So the interplanetary communication satellite that I was going to put up, and I actually did put up last episode, was missing a very crucial part to complete the contract. So instead of, adjusting the orbit like I wanted to, I simply made my periapsis greater than the 900 meters with an eccentricity greater than 0.2 for the Telstar contract, since it didn't care about inclination. Hey, we actually didn't get any science from that. Okay, that's fine. We get some parts, and this is the first thing we've recovered in a while. So let's clear out some of these, and these are all the messages I've received. Mostly debris, things are complete, more debris. Okay, there we go. Mostly debris. Ooh, something's going on here. Major malfunction. So it looks like it might be time to deorbit that one. So my Earth terrain satellite. Let's see what's going on with it. Malfunction wise. So here we are as tracking station. Let's find that Earth, what is it? Earth terrain satellite. I don't remember where it disappeared to. Ah, there it is. Earth terrain. Been orbiting for 117 days. That's a long time. At least in Kerbal Space Program. So first things first, we're going to see what sort of data it's got for us, because pretty sure this was one of the ones I put in a polar orbit for mapping the surface of Earth. And the main reason you want a polar orbit is so that you can eventually map the entire surface. There we go, loading up here. We do have plenty of delta V left to deorbit. lunar biome is malfunctioning. Wonder why that didn't show up. So we'll deorbit that. This has a lot of stuff. Let's see. Malfunction, only 25% torque. My engine is overheating 4 times as fast. My solar panels are only giving 25% of their output. My fuel cell is only giving 25% of its output. Not that that matters, because I never actually used it. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and deorbit this one. And those... no, that's the probe core. Why should we just give me a list of the malfunctions that are going on? Is it searching for retrograde? Looks like it might be searching for retrograde. Yeah, it looks like... okay, let's follow up a bit. Let's fight with it a little bit. It's not the direction I want to go. I want to go retrograde. There we go. Surface heading 180, pitch 0. Let's go that way. Mystery goo? No, I have to return it. Also have to return the materials bay. Let's activate RCS, see if that helps at all. Oh, something happened. I think there's a weight disparity, which is what's causing this flip here. So let's bring it down to a quarter thrust. At least get us going in the right direction, and then once we get down to less than 70 kilometers, if we ever get down to less than 70 kilometers, what is going on here? Those are all balanced. Oxidizer is balanced. Rocket fuel is balanced. RCS is balanced. Alright, let's turn that off. something is causing it to point prograde, and that's not what I want. What is... oh... bet that's what's going on. There we go. Now let's point retrograde. So yeah, apparently I had the flight computer on for some strange reason. Somehow, magically. That is what was causing the strange behavior. There we go, that looks a lot better. Alright, so let's pop over to my lunar biome satellite. Focus view on the moon. Whoa. Lunar biome. Alright, let's switch to that and see what's going on here. See my little probe there. So happy about that. Still. Can't believe I actually managed to land it on the moon with all the problems I had with it. So it looks like all my satellites are beginning to fail. Ooh! I can transmit that back. But that's the great thing about satellites is you can replace them fairly easily. Like, I bet all of these are malfunctioning somehow. So I'm going to point it retrograde. And you can see, you know, some of the changes I've made. Like I removed the fuel cell. You know, these are only providing 25% of their output, which is still more than enough. This is overheating 4 times as much. So I think all my lunar ones I'm just going to leave in orbit. I think. There's the Earth and the Moon. But let's check on. I like that it shows the path. Let's check on my altimetry one as well. See if there's anything I can transmit off of it. Just for good measure. Because that's the ultimate goal, is science. That's what I'm on the hunt for. I'm on the hunt for science so that I can unlock the yeah, see, all of these satellites are malfunctioning. They're all of them are malfunctioning. No, I must have already transmitted that one. So I'm actually going to deactivate that because there's no real point. So yeah, I'm fairly certain all of my satellites are overheat or malfunctioning. It's just a matter of what they are. I do want to check on my probe though. See how it's doing. And I might send a scientist or some other Kerbal to investigate and check it out. There it is. My little science probe. Of course I don't have a connection because it's deactivated itself. Because everything has died. So it's just kind of sitting there. First thing I ever landed. But surprisingly, it doesn't have any malfunctions. It doesn't look like. Ooh. Yeah, Earth terrain, Earth lunar biome, lunar altimetry. OSO 1. They're all malfunctioning. I think it might also be time to bring down Skylab as well. Unfortunately, Skylab was a basic space station. At least the one I put up was. Just enough to get to orbit to complete the contract. And fortunately, I made it fully autonomous. But I think that's all for this episode. I'm Taki117, and remember, it's only rocket science.